my live stream, my friends. I apologize for not being able to do a weather video for the past couple of days. The reason why I'm doing this is because my internet has been out for the past 24 hours, and it's just very disappointing that I can't really get it to turn on as of right now. We'll definitely try to get it back later today because it's been out for now over 24 hours. So I apologize for the inconvenience, you all. I'm pretty sure my internet went out because of the storms that went through my area, but luckily we did not lose power, which is good. It's just our internet that went out. So you guys can, press that like button for me as we're still trying to get our internet back on, and make sure to also subscribe to the channel as it really does help support it a lot still, and that will also help me get into better live coverage in the future, as subscribing to the channel will really help me get into those upgrades, including the Tempest weather stations. So I tried to figure out if I could film another screen so that way I could show you guys the weather, but none of my screens are turning on very well because of the internet, so I'm not really sure what to do about that. But I do know what's happening though, so we can talk to you guys in full screen mode. So let's talk about what's happening in Arkansas right now. So, but only if I can get my screen to work. Like I said, none of my screens are wanting to turn on because of the internet being out. But let me see if that will work. I can't even see if my live stream is working. But anyway, though, so in Arkansas, from what I remember, we got a moderate risk for severe storms down there in Arkansas. This is a level 4 out of 5 threat for significant severe storms down there in Arkansas, and it even heads up there into southeast Missouri, and I think it even includes a little sliver there of northeast Texas and southeast Oklahoma. This is mainly in effect for the potential of widespread damaging winds and especially tornadoes, which could be EF2 or greater. So we're hoping that you all take this very seriously down there in Arkansas, as I am expecting a pretty big severe weather outbreak for today. So definitely make sure you guys are all taking this very seriously, as down there in Arkansas, once again, we got that moderate risk in effect, so we will definitely need to keep an eye on it very closely. The other thing that we need to watch for is flooding. Flooding across the Lower Ohio Valley will continue over the next couple of days, as we are still expecting anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of rainfall, even over parts there of western Kentucky. So flooding will be another thing to really watch for. And like I said, I really wish I could show you guys my screen, but the only thing that's really working and going live is my phone. But if my computer or my laptop would have still worked without Wi-Fi, then this would have been a lot better. But anyway, though, we'll keep an eye on the flooding across the Lower Ohio Valley, as there's even a rare high risk for flash flooding across those areas. So we will definitely make sure to keep an eye on that very closely over the next couple of days, including today, as those rainfall totals could potentially even reach a foot once we get into that time frame. And then the other thing I want to go over, at least that's very important, is that we do also have the potential for even a few severe storms as far east as the East Coast as well. We got a huge slight risk going from Arkansas all the way over there into Pennsylvania. So we hope you guys over there in Pennsylvania also take this very seriously as well. We're not trying to say that we're going to see anything crazy over there, but we are trying to at least warn you guys that severe storms will still be possible over there. So we're hoping that you all, once again, take this very seriously, even if you live over there along the East Coast. I think the areas that are most likely to get severe storms today is definitely Arkansas, as they're under that moderate risk, like I said earlier. But something to even keep an eye on here in, the Ohio Valley, and even over there towards the East Coast too, as well, as severe weather does appear possible. Let's see here. What's up? Dayton, Ohio. got hit hard, just like you said. Yeah, Dayton, Ohio did get hit pretty hard. I'm pretty surprised that there wasn't anything crazy over there. I'm just saying you're just lucky to dodge a bullet because I didn't hear any news about a tornado on the ground. But yeah, those storms were still pretty strong once they rolled on through into that area, and that's something to watch for today, as some people that saw severe weather on Sunday and Wednesday especially are going to be under the gun for severe storms again. So that will be something to really keep in mind right there, as the severe weather threat is expected to continue. Let's see here. Loving your channel as always. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Heaviest rainfall I ever seen in 10 years. Yeah, I've seen some very heavy rainfall even hit my area as well. It's pretty crazy once it really starts to pour, because then it, leads to flooding, first of all, especially if it's so heavy the water can barely even keep up with it. And second of all, it's also, just something that isn't very fun, especially when it's very loud out there. It's pretty crazy just seeing that rainfall pouring hard. But yeah, there definitely was very, very heavy rain falling down on my house too as well, in my neck of the woods here in Southwest Indiana. Let's see here. I'm in Alabama, US. Alabama definitely was a hard-hitting spot as well. Let's see here. Alabama, a lot warmer weather and nicer than my weather. Yes, it is warmer, but I probably wouldn't say it has nicer weather, because they get just as hit with severe storms, if why not a big tornado outbreak back during the second week of March, when we had that rare high risk down there in the deep south. So if like I said, I probably wouldn't, do anything crazy about severe weather, but it's definitely, just as bad down there in the deep south as it is even up here to the north as well. So yeah. Let's see here. Thank you so much for subscribing. Let's see. Rebecca, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't liked today's live stream yet, make sure to give that live stream a thumbs up. Like I said, I'm doing a live stream and giving you guys an update this way because, like I said, my internet has been out for the past 24 hours and I'm just not sure when it's going to be back on. But I think during an update this way is at least enough to get your guys' attention about the weather today and even in the next few days as well, guys. It's certainly going to be a pretty wild week once again, especially because we are going to be seeing the potential for more severe weather even down there in the deep south. Plus, I also want to point out that I think we could also be talking about even some big time snowfall even on the northern side of the system, which I forgot to point out. It's not going to be anything as crazy as what we saw during the winter, but it definitely is, more than what we saw back in March. So pretty crazy storm up there as well in the northern Great Lakes region and upper Midwest. Let's see here. I'm a damer if my internet was out, so it is happiness. Yeah, I didn't think my phone would be able to go live when the internet was without, but like I said, I'm at least happy that my phone is still working with the internet out, because this is at least better than, then they're not having any option to be live. And I was hoping my other screens would also work as well, including my, computer. I was hoping those would still work without internet, but like I said, they just don't really want to work very well, so that's why we're just doing a weather update this way. And if you're just joining, we're talking about how the weather could be during the next few days, which once again, we're really concerned about strong EF2 tornadoes down there in Arkansas, and we might even see that continue even as we get into tomorrow. And we are also concerned about significant and potential even life-threatening flooding down there in Arkansas as well. So it's definitely something to not ignore if you live in the Lower Ohio Valley or if you live down there into Arkansas. Those will be the areas to potentially get the hardest hit with the storm as it rolls on through today. And once again, guys, make sure to press that like button down below. Much appreciated. But yeah, let's see here. I just wish we would have some 80-degree weather. Yeah, 80-degree weather to me is pretty nice, at least for a lot of people, especially during the early part of the spring where it still starts out a little cold. That's usually where it starts to feel pretty good out there. But once we get closer into summer, 80 degrees starts to feel pretty hot out there, especially since those are May temperatures. By the way, 70 degrees is about May temperatures for the Lower Ohio Valley, or at least 79-degree temperatures rather. But either way, 70, 80 degrees is definitely going to feel like summer out there once we reach May, especially because it is starting to warm up. So yeah, 80 degrees definitely nice in some ways, but I think it's a little hot out there. I would probably prefer 70 degrees. 70 degrees probably even feels better, especially with the breeze and sunshine. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out is that Weather with Sim merchandise is now available. If you guys would like to go check it out, make sure you go click the shop button as I am already pinning my objects to my channel, so that way you guys can, go buy some Weather with Sim merchandise if you guys would like, as it's currently down there in the description. So feel free, guys. Feel free to go buy some Weather with Sim merchandise by clicking that shop button, and it should pull up. Or you guys can even go to my channel, and there should be a store option there as well that you guys can go check out. And we sell everything from mugs to jackets to hoodies to mugs. And like I said, we even sell iPhone cases. We sell all that stuff. So consider going to Weather with Sim, and you guys can go check out my merchandise. And the phone that I'm using right now actually has a Weather with Sim phone case on it, and so far it's been very good. So let's see here. I'm going to head off, buddy. Have a great day. You too, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, you all. And once again, if you haven't liked this live stream yet, make sure to like this live stream. Really helps out the channel a lot, and much appreciated. And make sure to also subscribe to the channel, so that way we can help get the word out to more people. And like I said, subscribing to the channel will even help me get towards my new upgrades that I'm gonna do, which my upgrade that I'm thinking about doing next is getting a new desktop, because my computer that I have right now is kind of slow, and it hasn't really done a perfect job with my live streams, and that's probably why the internet has been going out. It's either because the internet's been going out, or it's because my computer just doesn't do very well. So I'll try to do something about that by buying a new desktop, because right now I'm using a laptop, like I said, for my live streams. Or I will probably continue like this for some time still, but like I said, hopefully I'll get a new desktop in, and then of course a Tempest weather station as well. That's another thing I'm thinking about getting as well. So like I said, those upgrades are, very expensive, but also very important. So it would definitely help out a lot for sure. Let's see here. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining, my friend. Much appreciated. And like I said, we're pretty much just talking about how this weather could be over the next few days, including tomorrow, where we are under the gun for significant severe weather down there in Arkansas, especially today, where we do have a moderate risk. So once again, we're hoping you all take this very, very seriously, and so definitely make sure to, get your severe weather action plan in place, and also make sure to continue to stay prepared for severe weather, as I am expecting more severe weather as we head throughout the season. And I can't really see if my live stream is working very well, so will you guys tell me if my camera and my voice sounds good, or if it's a little bumpy, because I think with no internet it'll work okay, but it may sound a little weird. Will you guys tell me down in the chat if my live stream is sounding good? But like I said, I can't see it on a screen, so I'm just trying to figure out if it's working right, which it looks like it is, but I want you guys to tell me. And hopefully we'll get our internet back on today. I'm expecting it to be back on sometime later today, right around dinner time. Hopefully it will be back on even before that, because what we're going to try to do is we're going to call our internet company and make sure they can get it back on for us. So hopefully that will work, but who really knows? I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to fix it today again, which would be about 48 hours with no internet, so that would definitely be pretty disappointing right there. But like I said, hopefully we can at least get it back on in some way, so that way we can do it. And like I said, it would be very helpful if you guys would tell me if my voice and my camera are working well, because like I said, I can't really tell if my camera is working or if my voice is working. Like I said, it looks like it's working fine, but I can't tell because none of my other screens are working but the phone I'm going live on. And if you haven't pressed that like button yet, once again, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Much appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you go down below and click that subscribe button. Also really appreciate it as well, and really does help support out the channel a lot. Once again, much appreciated, you all. And if you guys got any questions to leave down in the chat, feel free to leave anything you guys would like to, as I am here to answer any of your guys' questions. And like I said, I'm also, just waiting to see if you guys would tell me if my camera and voice are working. Because like I said, I can't really see what's going on, but hopefully it's working fine, which it sounds like it is since you guys haven't told me yet, but yeah. But yeah, I think we're gonna head off here in just a little bit. Like I said, guys, if you guys would quickly tell me that my camera is working, then that's all I need, because that tells me it's been working the whole time. And like I said, make sure to also like today's video and live stream, and make sure to also subscribe to the channel as well. Much appreciated and very supportive. So hopefully you guys can do that, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day out there, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching today's live stream, and we will try to get a video in later today rather. So consider staying tuned for that, and we'll see you guys again. Thank you all so much, and goodbye.